All right. So this is just going to be session number 5 of our campaign. On your character sheets, you should have a little button in the journal tab, except for Matt. I'll have to add yours to the biography tab instead, just because you're using the old version of the character sheet. It doesn't have a journal tab. So let me.
I'm able to write in this like area.
That's great. I'm just going to add a little button in there so that you have access to the session notes. There. Okay. So let's go over session 3 and 4, just so that everybody is up to date. In session 3, aboard the voyage, you managed to find an ogre with an anchor for an arm. Where is this? Session 3. She was floating in the ocean, apparently thrown overboard by Captain Callus of the Devil's Fin, the pirate ship which attempted to attack the party on the first day of their journey. She vowed to work as a crew member aboard the voyage and was permitted to stay. In the evening, the ship narrowly avoided an iceberg floating in the water. As we continue to the 6th day at sea, still aboard the voyage, another pirate ship was spotted in the distance. This ship bore a red flag with a skull surrounded by tentacles. The crew of the ship were misshapen mutants. The voyage managed to avoid the pirate ship and survive for another day. Later in the evening, Chimera received a strange vision of something underwater. On the 7th day at sea, aboard the voyage just before dawn, near the island of Gunderlin, the voyage was attacked by a group of sea devils, or Sahuagin. The party managed to defeat the sea devils and rescue a boy who was captured named Burn Rhymewave. Burn claims he was abducted by the sea devils after his family was attacked on their fishing boat outside of Gunbarg, the port city of Gunderlin. He was knocked unconscious, and the last thing he remembers is waking up in a sack on a coracle floating in the water. And for those who don't know, I just recently discovered what a coracle is. It's basically like a basket that floats on top of the water. It's not really a boat. It's more like a floating thing that you kind of sit on and maybe use like a stick to propel yourself. It's apparently a real thing. I thought that was really cool.
So technically, we weren't supposed to be all sitting on that rowboat then.
It's fine. It was a very big one, let's say. The party also found some treasure that the Sea Devils had taken. Among the treasure was an idol of a shark carved from coral with the fins broken off. Upon touching the idol, the party received visions of a massive tentacle breaking the fins off of it. It was also covered in strange dots that sent a telepathic message to the toucher that said false idols. In session 4, you finally arrive at Gunderlin. The voyage pulled into Gunbarg and was approached by a woman named Sigrid Ironheart, a Carl, an assistant to King Olgrave Redax of Gunderlin. She introduced herself and told the party they would be granted room and board in the Dragon Turtle Inn, and that they would be speaking with King Redax the following morning. Domo went off to pray to Umberly, but couldn't find more than a simple shrine. Sif went off to hunt. Chimera set up a sparring match with Cora, which will take place later in the evening. She then went off with Kai to explore Gundbarg. After purchasing gear at the Saltwood storehouse, the party spoke with Granny Saltwood, who mentioned a place to find a strong connection to Umberly, north of town in a small grotto. She also asked the party to bring her the seaweed that grows there, called Dead Man's Bootlaces. In return, she promised to give you a potion of water breathing, which she uses the bootlaces to create. The party ventured north and investigated the grotto. Domo had a strange vision of Umberly, who warned her of a celestial intruder. The party gathered the seaweed and discovered a sea lion wearing a chain with an eyeball on it. They decided to leave the sea lion alone and return to Gunbarg. And that was where the session ended. So, moving into the Gundbarg map. We find ourselves here. The voyage is parked at the docks. Captain Graysail, as well as the rest of the crew, are staying aboard, taking care of repairs, and are planning to bring their ship over to Gimlet's repair shop at some point in order to complete those repairs. But for the time being, they have said that it is their job to wait here for the group of you to finish whatever mission it is you might have, and then once you return, they will bring you back to wherever your next location might be. You also have free room and board at the Dragon Turtle Inn over here. You have already visited Saltwood's storehouse, and if you wish to purchase anything, you can double-click on this icon here, which should pop up a little store menu, and you can feel free to buy whatever it is they have available, as long as you have the money for it, of course. And so that's where you guys find yourself now. You're still on this, let me pull up my calendar, the 8th day of the month of Hammer. We'll say it's about like late afternoon at this point. You've gone north, you did your mission, you came back, and so you still have the rest of the day to do whatever it is that you wish to do. Did anybody have anything in particular they wanted to complete before we move forward?
Is there any downside to wearing traveler's clothes all the time? The warm clothes?
No, not really. It's just warm. Maybe if it was like, if you were in a desert, your character would just be uncomfortable, but it doesn't get as nitty gritty as like Warhammer does.
Okay. Can I sell my traveler or my commoner's clothes and my crossbow?
Sure. I think, let's see, how to sell to somebody else. Let's see. Are those items in your backpack?
The clothes were. I see they just moved though.
I just moved them. Just 1 second. Let me see what happens when I open up this storehouse. I know there's a way that you can sell things to these guys. Let me ask you, when you look at the storehouse menu, what do you see? Do you see a way to sell anything?
Sell items, yeah.
I don't see that on my side. So why don't you go ahead and try clicking that and see what happens.
Merchant is closed. Check back later.
I think I just closed them. You should be open now.
Sell items. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, that works.
Nice.
Pretty cool.
Yep, if anybody has any items they wish to sell or wish to buy, like Matt, for example, if you wanted to buy a...
Yeah, I do. I do want to buy a couple of things.
Right, so just go over here, click on it, and a store pops up. And you could just scroll through, look for it. You could search for the item, you could filter for the item, do whatever it is you need to do to get the item you want to buy.
Oh, I need to get close to it. Okay.
Yeah.
I could try...
There's a lot of free stuff here.
Cool.
There's free stuff? Yeah, like an alms box.
10-foot ladder's only 1 silver piece.
Ooh, how much money do I could? Oh, cool! And it tells you how much money you have. That's awesome. I like that.
It's like a video game.
That's literally about to say that word for word. It's like a video game.
Cool. I bought something. Also, considering I missed the previous session, could it say that we've taken a long rest?
Absolutely. In fact, I've already given all of your characters long rests. So you should have all of your abilities and features replenished already. Cool. And also what I was going to do is follow up with you. Really quickly before we get to that, on your character sheets, you should have a brand new tab called the Actions tab. This is a really neat feature. What it does is it takes all of the potential actions your character can take and puts them all in one location. Your weapon attacks, your features, whatever. And you can modify this as well. You should see like a little fist icon next to certain actions. You can click that fist icon to remove that thing from your actions tab. And then if you go to the tab it belongs to, features, for example, you should see little fist icons in there with little plus signs. If you click those will be moved, or a copy of those will be moved to your actions tab. So in this way, you can customize what you see in that tab. This is for the people who don't like using the token action HUD at the very top. You can put certain spells in there that you know you're going to use, like your prepared spells, for example. You can put whatever you want. You can customize it. You don't have to use it at all. I found it to be an interesting feature. Something else it does is it also gives you like attack bonuses and spell saving throws and damage and stuff like that at a glance, which I find really useful. There is a bug with it where the top row is like not spaced correctly, so range is like shifted one space over. But otherwise it shows you the range, the bonus to hit or the chance to hit, chance to succeed, and the damage of particular abilities really easily.
Sweet.
So that being said, I was going to ask you, Matt, while the rest of the group was out doing everything that they were doing, exploring the city for the most part, heading a little bit up north to help Domo out and find the seaweed to bring back to Granny Saltwood, what was Zephyr up to?
Zephyr was definitely looking for information. I guess first he would probably even start at the docking port. Maybe someone with experience or who actually works at docking port might have information, more information about the Golden Crown and why it was even, I guess, commissioned to set sail, or why did it make a pit stop there, considering that it was supposed to go to Corinth,
Sure.
Calensham.
Sure. So give me a investigation check.
All right, cool.
Okay, great. So with the 13, while everybody else was, doing whatever it is they were doing, you immediately hit the ground running and started asking people questions, poking around, taking looks at documents that people would give you access to, trying to find whatever information you can about the ship, the Golden Crown. What you found is that 100% the ship had landed here on this island, at this dock in particular, at some point several years ago, around the same time that your parents died, or disappeared, I should say. No record exists of why it was here, but somebody confirms to you that the owner of the ship was a very powerful wizard, and they kept mostly to themselves, and that they spoke with a number of people on their crew, including 2 people that match the description of your parents. The wizard himself is named
Hawk Mraz.
Mraz. And that he never left the ship the entire time it was docked here, and instead had his other crew members do whatever work they needed to do, primarily collecting supplies, that they were planning to head further west, which is essentially in the opposite direction of Calensham, which is further south and east. What they were doing further west, you do not know, nor do you know their planned destination. What you do learn, however, one of the people here says that a point of contact was left for this ship, and it points directly to a man in. Just give me 1 second. I gotta get the exact location correct. A man named Ramazith, a wizard in Baldur's Gate.
Nice. That was a nice, healthy chunk of info there.
So the guy's not here. He's in Baldur's Gate.
Right. I guess in this session, I have some ideas on where to do more investigation. But in terms of my player, I think I have a skill. Well, I do have a skill that allows me to pick a particular proficiency or skill for free after every long rest.
Sure.
Considering I just got the Poisoner's kit, I would like to be proficient in it.
Great. Okay. So on your, let's see, we go to your attributes on your character sheet. And do you remember what the other, let's see. Your ability is called Whispers of the Dead.
Whispers of the Dead.
Do you remember what the last skill that you gave yourself was?
I don't think I ever gave myself a skill. Because actually I did. I had the thieves. I truthfully don't remember. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Do me a favor.
I think you leveled up last session, and then you weren't able to be here the session prior after
Right.
you got that ability. So
So I
I don't
never
think
got
you
to
even
pick it.
had one before.
Cool.
Yeah,
Sure.
good call. Yeah.
Sounds good to me. So then I'm going to click onto your character sheet and give you... Where is it? Poisoner's Kit. Bam. So now you are proficient in both Thieves' Tools and the Poisoner's Kit.
Because I already bought the Poisoner's kit, so do I need to be proficient in it as well?
Yes,
Does
in
that
order
make
to...
sense?
You need the Poisoner's Kit to use it. And I'm going to also write next to Whispers of the Dead, Poisoner's Kit, so that we know currently that's what you're proficient with.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah. Other than, yeah, I guess in this session I'm probably would like to do more research on the actual wizard Hawk Miraz. See what his business was here. If I
Sure.
could get
So you
further
have
into that.
some time before the evening proper. How about the other characters? Let's start with Domo. You return to Gundbarg with after having this essentially a conversation face to face with your god. The ramifications of which are still sort of reverberating strongly inside of you. It was both terrifying and an exhilarating experience. How does Domo feel about it?
I think I need to cool off from that a little bit, so I'm gonna take my sea lion pup and go have it splash around in the water. And I'm gonna hang out by the coast.
Cool. Yeah, you head over to the coast with your sea lion pup in tow. How about Sif?
Sif is going to. He told everybody in the village where he was going, and just to make sure he's keeping on top of things, he's going to go and check to see if there's any correspondence that were sent here or anybody who's trying to get in touch with him.
Sure. You go and you head to a postal office, and we'll get back to you in a moment. How about Kai?
I was gonna say I was gonna go swimming too to blow off steam. It's just like we've been on the ship for a long time, and I just need to get some energy out.
All right, so you're swimming in these are icy cold waters, but maybe you're used to that at this point. You're splashing around with this sea lion pup
new
in the
pup.
water.
Yeah.
How about
I imagine like
Chimera?
Domo playing with like the pup, and you see like a shadow all of a sudden. It's like Kai doing a cannonball over the top of them.
What is Chimera up to? Are you muted, Bianca?
No.
Okay.
I'd say, uh, because Chimera was in that seaweed covered cavernous lagoon, and also went swimming prior, I'd say Chimera probably like reaches over to her wrist and realizes how terrible she smells. And is gonna retreat to the inn to go and shower um and and just like get cleaned up before meeting with Cora for her sparring session.
Okay. All right, so you head over. We're gonna handle this stuff in reverse order. So Chimera, you head over to the Dragon Turtle Inn. The furnishings are far inferior to what you're used to. Someone of your noble caliber. They're giving everything they got. However, they have a wooden tub that they fill with nice, comfortable hot water. They don't have much in the way of scented soaps or oils or anything like that, but it's comfortable enough. You'll make do. So you make your way to a room that is offered to you, and you begin luxuriating as well as you can in this bath.
I have a pack. I think it's like a noble's pack. So presumably I'd say Chimera went and she bought it at the Saltwood storehouse. So presumably kind of like, when you travel and you go to CVS because you forgot something.
Nice.
Chimera, presumably because we were at the inn eating before, took a glimpse of her room, saw that not everything was up to par. And so she went and she got everything she needed from the storehouse and brought it back with her.
Nice. I'm seeing that you
Stocked up.
have oil, you have perfumes.
I got soap.
And it has soap too. Okay, yeah, you got your travel bar of Irish Spring. You're good to go.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you're enjoying yourself, cleaning yourself. It's a room for sure. Kai and Domo, you're over at the water having a good time. Do you talk to each other at all while you're spending this time together?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm probably a little distant, but I'm having fun with my little sea lion pup, splashing around, just a little zoned out maybe.
Yeah,
Lion
I'm
pup.
swimming out deep.
You guys got a lion pup?
Yeah.
Lion pup.
Sea lion pup. Oh, it looks like a kitty cat with fish.
Yeah, it's
half
half
fish, half kitty cat.
top half cat, bottom half fish. I don't think we
So
have
it's
a-
catfish.
Basically. Sif, you head over to the post here, and you're looking for whatever information you could find on. Do you give a particular name for something or someone?
I'll ask if anybody sent me any correspondence in the city, and then I'll drop a name of a wood elf contact I have. I think his name. Let me look at my backstory stuff. A Swift Arrow.
The postal worker goes into the back, comes out with a sealed letter of correspondence. It's not titled or directed to you specifically, but it is another. It is from this person, and it is titled to or addressed to whoever comes searching. and it has a symbol of the Emerald Enclave on it as well in wax. So you know it hasn't been opened yet. You open the letter, and it says that in essence they have relocated to the to a location nearby the village of Fiskerbach to continue their investigation.
Fiskerbach?
Yes. Which is also the
The lesser creepy place.
Oh wow, I spelled that way wrong. Okay. Sif will. I know no one's here to witness this, but he was kind of hoping there wouldn't be any kind of letter. But now that he's got it, he can't unget it. So he'll just kind of slip it into his pocket and. There's someone behind the counter, right?
Yep.
Do I know where Fiskerbach is? We looked on the map previously, right? We know kind of where these places are.
Yes.
Okay.
So, Gunbarg is all the way over here. Fiskerbach is a 3 days journey by road.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna get that letter. All roads seem to be pointing to Fiskerbach, and am I able to see the two of them as I exit?
Yeah, sure. You step outside and you can see them in the distance.
I think Sif will watch them. Watch Domo playing with the pup, and watch Kai playing, and then head over.
Creepily staring at these two ladies at the beach.
No, for a brief moment, more like spying them, not spying on them, but spying them. You know, where you're like, oh, look at them.
No, I'm not being creep. I'm just spying on them.
Yeah. I'm in the street because it's
I'm
fun.
in
I
a
like
bush.
high
I'm
vantage
just
points.
licking my lips.
I'll walk up.
Sif realizes how creepy he's being. And is.
Yeah, he just kind of straightens himself up and.
Hey guys. Go ahead.
Did Domo? Sorry, JR. Did Domo say what he saw or she saw in the vision, or didn't vocalize that at all?
Yeah, I definitely would have on the walk back or there. I mean, if not right then, I would have explained everything to you guys on the walk back from that cave.
Okay. Yeah, Sif will say, it does seem like all roads are pointing to Fiskerbach. You said that whatever crash happened or alien craft, is that also at Fiskerbach?
That was the other place.
It was Fiskerbach.
I just got a letter that I was really hoping I wouldn't get, and it's also telling me something important is happening at Fiskerbach.
I did commune with my goddess out on that island at the shrine, and it did seem like we may not have a good time when we head out there, but it seems like we must, huh?
Yeah, that's for sure.
If that's where the job's taking us.
All right. And then finally, Zathir. You had something else you wanted to do a little bit of footwork on. What was that exactly? Before we fast forward to the evening.
Two things, if I can. One, do slightly more research on Hawk Miraz. And two, I was actually interested in the Kraken. I think we came into some like folklore that a Kraken could be called. Let me take a look through my notes, but I guess we can start with the other one.
Just you, baby.
All right, let me know when you find what you're looking for, Matt.
Yeah, I'm taking a look 1 second.
Sure.
You gonna eat this fucking sea lion pup, dude?
Oh, right. So, a while back, I grabbed the memories of a pirate that was on a boat, and he had mentioned the Sea King. And what is the mission of the Sea King? And he said to raise the Black Armada and release the terror of the Kraken.
Okay, so what is it that you're looking for?
So besides the first part, more about Hawk Miraz, specifically this, what could the Black Armada be? And the terror of the Kraken, is that a myth? Is there a way to control Kraken, and kind of like deep diving into that realm?
Just give me 1 second.
Yeah. And I guess that depends on if that type of information is even in this area, you know? It's probably more of a library or a historian involved. Hope you guys don't mind. Zethir is Zethir is a bit of a geek. He likes to hit the books.
No problem.
Okay, give me an investigation check.
Sure. Go to attributes here. Investigation. Nice.
Nice, good roll. You look into history pertaining to this wizard, Hawk Miraz. He, like your family, comes from the land of Kalimshan to the south of Baldur's Gate and on the southern portion of the Sword Coast. You feel some camaraderie there that explains perhaps some connection between your parents and him. All that you really find about Hawk Miraz is that he was an incredibly powerful wizard who was famous for possessing 3 particularly powerful artifacts: the Staff of the Magi, the Ring of Spell Turning, and the Cube of Force.
What was the ring of what?
The Ring of Spell Turning.
Spell turning.
Oh yeah.
Interesting. Very interesting.
All you find is that these are incredibly powerful magic items, in particular the staff and the cube. The Staff of the Magi is a powerful magic artifact that only the most mighty of magicians are capable of wielding. And it can give even a completely mundane person the power of an incredibly mighty sorcerer. The Ring of Spell Turning, you learn, is there's a drawing of it. It looks like a mirror on your finger, and it has the ability to reflect spells and abilities that target the wearer back to the person who cast them. And the Cube of Force is a strange magic item that allows someone to create magical barriers that are all but impervious. As for your second question, which is pertaining to the Kraken, was there anything in particular that you're looking for regarding the Kraken?
Yeah, what is it? Is it an actual Kraken? Or is it just kind of something bigger than that?
Just 1 second. Give me 1 second. So while you're doing your research, at this point, it's becoming sort of like the sun has already gone down. It's the beginning of winter after all, so the sun sets relatively early in the day. The area that you're in, this small library filled with old, dusty tomes and moldy books, lit by candles all around. You're the only person in here at this point, save for this one old man sitting next to a fireplace, rocking in a chair. You're looking book after book, and you're not finding any information on this, whatever it is that you're looking for. You just can't seem to find a particular story. You mention in passing what it is that you're searching for to this old man, and he says to you, "I've heard such a tale. 'Twas the night, under the waning moon, when the seas grew restless, and the air thick with an eerie mist. Our ship sailed into the heart of the accursed maelstrom, a place where men dare not whisper of, for in its depths lurk the terror known far and wide as Slarkrithel, the monstrous kraken that could devour the mightiest of ships in a single gulp." And so that's what you basically receive in terms of information during this investigation.
That was Slarkathel,
Yes.
this super kraken. Nice. Cool. I would like to eventually meet up with everyone else at this point.
Are there clouds on this map or something? Like it got darker. But just like here.
Like half of it is dark. 'cause
Yeah,
it's
half
getting
of it got
darker,
dark.
right?
Okay. Over time, the rest of your group begin trickling back over to the Dragon Turtle Inn. The air grows cold as the sun begins to set, and so you decide to warm yourselves behind the hearth of a comfortable inn. There is a larger group of people here than you are used to. Just 1 second. Or at least larger than you've seen previously. Gotta lower that music. That's loud. Push that to chat. And so you're inside of this warm, cozy tavern. Some of you have already been here. The proprietors, these two twin old men who are constantly bickering between each other, Horthan and Mansur Lead, are more than happy to offer whatever sustenance that you might desire at this point. What does your group do?
I think it's time to have a meal.
Oh, that sounds mighty fun. I haven't eaten a thing all day.
Yeah, how was your day? You didn't come to the cave with us. You find anything out in the library? Or wherever you were doing your research?
Right. Well, I went about town and eventually came to a bit of information that could help me move along the way.
Oh.
Mostly about my parents and the Black Armada and the release of the Terror of the Kraken. Some super Kraken named Slarkrithel.
The Black Armada, I've definitely heard of them before. You don't want to mess with those guys.
Oh, have you?
Yeah, the
Please,
last
tell me
ship
more.
I worked on. No, I just heard their crew that my old captain looked up to, and let me just say he wasn't the most pleasant of captains. So you better be careful if you ever go after them.
Have they been around for a long time, or is it something that just happened with, like, recently? Is that a name you've heard for a long time?
I think more recently, like I didn't grow up listening to stories about the Black Armada, but definitely my old captain was talking about them like they were up and coming.
Well, I'm not worried about them. It's more about the Terror of the Kraken that's more appealing to me. Have you heard of any such tale?
Well, it's definitely not a maelstrom if that's where you think they are. The Kraken, it's not there, so
The Maelstrom?
yeah, that
Is it?
tidbit that he got.
Oh, I must have missed that.
Yes, Slarkrathel. That's what they call it.
Yeah, no, my mom lives down there, so there's no Kraken there. That was a poor tip. Whoever gave that to you.
Uh, uh, some information that I did run into, specifically about my parents. I heard the boat, the Golden Crown, was moving further west, not even heading to Kalisham. Would any of you have a map?
We'll pull on
Uh,
a map we've used before.
What is further west?
Well, oh. Did they say if it left the island, or was it further west along the island, or further west out to sea?
That's a good question. I'm assuming just further west from Gundolin.
Yes. So they left from Gundbarg, and then they headed further west along the northern coast.
So I guess, well, for me, my next point of interest is Vilksteed, as well as Turn up north. How was the caves where you guys went to?
It was a bit eye-opening. I have recently become more interested in fighting this sunken golden crown of yours as well. Seems to hold some items of great importance to our mission. I do think that whatever we find at Fiskerbach may not be able to be dealt with so easily. I imagine we will have much more work to do before we are able to come to the bottom of this.
It is good that we were called here, because if we accomplish whatever they want us to do around here and at Fiskerbach, maybe we can get easier passage out west.
We have no evidence that the ship made it as far as Vilkstead or Tern, do we? Only that they headed more west than here.
Correct. The only way to know is to really head there ourselves. Where is Fister Rock? Is that what you're saying?
Fiskerbach is
Fisterbach.
right here.
Oh, I see it. Cool.
So it's on the opposite end of the island, about a 3 days journey by road. I will remind you, I think some of the reports that you've heard point to your group going in that direction regardless. So perhaps you have a feeling that it's possible that more information could be gleaned there.
I think this king is going to talk to us and ask us to go solve a problem at Fiskerbach.
Yes, I don't think there's any way we can avoid heading to Fiskerbach at this point. I just don't think we will necessarily be happy with what we find there.
You keep saying that. Did what is the name of your goddess again?
Umberly.
Did Umberly say anything specific? Just general bad things.
Just a generally bad feeling, yes.
Well, we've already bought warm winter clothing. I'm not sure how much more prep we can do.
All right.
Hey, Domo. We definitely have to talk a bit about our beliefs here. Have you ever heard of the God of Osiris?
Heard of, maybe, but not studied closely.
Well, I've read quite a few manuscripts about that guy, and I'll tell you, he's got a lot going.
Oh yeah, and how can he help us here?
Well, now that we're on the topic, I guess I could tell you that that's probably how I got my powers. Strange. I don't necessarily believe in it quite as you may think. However, I did a lot of research considering my grandfather was part of that, believed in him as well.
It seems sometimes you don't find the gods, but rather they find you then,
Well said.
Deep.
You think Osiris is the one who gives you the ability to talk to the dead, too?
I came just after reading. It was through my obsession of finding my parents, and the thought of them being dead, considering the ship has sunk. To even talk to them would bring me happiness. So I did research into looking into ways of how to be able to talk to them. And well, I came across this manuscript in one of the temples of Osiris. I studied it in detail, and of course I knew nothing about the language or anything else. It took years for me to figure this out.
Did it work?
Not exactly sure how, but just one day, after doing experiments, I figured to look into the eye and be able to see the memories. Wasn't the cleanest of operations, but I eventually found that the tear was the key.
And do you have a certainty that your parents are dead? Would you be able to know that for sure or not? Could they be out there somewhere? I know the ship sunk, but it's possible they came upon rescue and are stranded somewhere out at sea.
It's the only reason why I keep my hopes up. I have a map at home that I've crossed out different sections of where they could possibly fell. It was when I found out that the ship made a stop at Gondolin. And that's why I'm here today. If I could see them one more time, to hold them.
Well,
Enough of that.
the Golden Crown seems very important to our journey forward, so I'm sure you will receive an answer one way or the other.
And you mentioned powerful artifacts on the Golden Crown. What is it that you seek?
I'm not too certain. I spoke to my goddess, and she told me there were powerful items to be found there that could help us to deal with this celestial being we may find at Fiskerbach or the ship it left behind. I believe whatever is on that ship is not only very important to you, but very important to all of us.
When she said celestial, was she talking angels or something? Like a ship from heaven crashed.
I suppose from heaven or from somewhere else. I'm not too sure. Otherworldly, I think, would be a more apt description. Something not of this plane.
There's all this talk about religion in general. I've always had to wonder from what heaven, if any heaven.
One heaven, you say?
Well, you worship one thing, or not worship, but you're tied. You stole power from one god, and Domo receives power from another. If heaven is a realm of the gods, you hope the ship came from a good heaven, and not something else.
I worry it may be that's something else.
Yeah, I think you might be right. But that's for tomorrow. For tonight, I say we toast to Zathir, the person who stole power from a god and used it to speak to the dead, and is out here looking for some semblance of peace. I think like the rest of us.
Aye, to Zathir.
To
Well,
Satir.
I don't necessarily think I deserve any of that.
I'll drink your drink for you if you'd like.
It's not really a good reason why I'm here to begin with. However, cheers.
All right. Everybody who took part in that conversation, who doesn't already have a point of inspiration, you can go ahead and take one. I think that's only Kai. I'm also going to rescind my rule change. You can use points of inspiration for anything. Attack rolls, saving throws. And you can still spend yours on other people, but you can only hold one at a time, which is the rule it was always.
I think I still got one.
Where do I put that?
On the top left-hand side of your character sheet, there's like a little dice icon over your portrait.
I see.
It starts glowing when
thank
you
you.
click it, and when you use it, just click that again.
You can only use it one at a time, right?
You only get one total.
Yeah, you get one until you get it again, and you can only get it through good roleplay.
So it's kind of good to get rid of it, because
Yeah, I need to burn mine, so I stab Zathir.
I use my inspiration for a save throw.
There we go. Now we're roleplay.
I'll use my inspiration to throw a drink in your face. How about that? Chimera, you are pulled out of your reverie for a moment, there's a knock at the door.
I'll go and I'll answer.
It's Quora. He has with him his sword and his dagger at the ready.
Oh, hello, Cora. Are you ready to spar?
Yes, I believe there's a field outside that should be suitable for us.
Excellent.
He takes a look at you. You look frazzled. Are you all right?
Well, you did catch me as I was doing my hair.
My apologies.
Please excuse me a moment while I finish getting ready.
Of course.
I'll go and I'll close the door a little bit, leave it ajar so that I have privacy to finish getting fixed up.
All right. So you finish up what it is that you're doing. Is there anything that you need to do up there in the moment?
No, I'm ready to continue.
Okay. You head downstairs along with Quora. The group sees the two of you head out through one of the front doors. And you can find a field over here that you can practice sparring.
Okay.
Zathir went to the market.
Yeah, can I buy some real quick?
Absolutely. Whatever you need to do. That's why it's there.
I just want to pick up backpack as well.
Sure. You have enough money for it. Yeah. Does that leave you with 1 gold piece?
I have 1 gold piece.
Nice. Okay.
Thanks, Saltwood.
All right. So, Chimera, you and Quora are going back and forth, taking your time to engage in some light sparring. He's pretty quick on his feet. He's pretty nimble. Whereas you definitely have a massive strength advantage. He tries to avoid blows where you move a little bit more close and deliver these devastating blows that he has difficulty blocking and parrying. Is there anything in particular that you're trying to do during this sparring?
I guess like I would specifically would want to like study like any like counters or like ways Cora might like fight illegally.
Okay.
So like I'll probably like notice notice the way he fights, and like maybe it's the way he holds the hilt of the sword, or like maybe he swings it in a direction like a fake out. And Chimera is kind of like learning this kind of like unprofessional way of dueling that she probably didn't learn in nobility while she was being trained.
Oh yeah. Yeah, this guy is definitely, he doesn't fight like a noble. He definitely fights more like, he fights very aggressively, but also defensively. It's this weird combination of the two. None of his attacks are something that you would find in a textbook. His attacks are more somebody who learned on their own and taught themselves have turned into a fighting style that works for them. He swings his curved elven scimitar. He feints with his curved elven dagger. And you get the sense that he is... give me an insight test, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Something that you get the hint of is that he is going easy on you to a pretty severe degree. Like you're watching how he moves and like how controlled he is. And even though you've seen him fight before, you're linking to what you've seen that he's capable of on the ship and what he's doing here. And you can tell just by his movements, he is capable of far, far more than both the fights that he was doing on the ship and in the sparring match. Essentially, he's giving you the impression, mechanically speaking, he is clearly giving you the impression that he is a low-level creature, when in reality he is a much higher level creature.
Then I'll try to sweep him and see what he does.
Okay, so you're trying to shove him?
Basically, like, trip him.
Okay, so let's see. Target him and give me a shove action.
Would that count? I guess it would.
We'll say just for roleplay purposes, sure.
Okay. Oh, this isn't in the link. I'll pull it up my character sheet. Let's see.
Do you want to use acrobatics or athletics? Oh, actually, no, I'm sorry, this is me. He wants to use athletics.
I just hit. Oh, there we go. Okay. Oh, nope.
Okay, you got a 5, you got a 19. I don't know how he failed that when you got a 5 and he got a 19, but okay. But yeah, so based on the rolls, he succeeded. He managed to avoid you as you tried to trip him up. And basically, the long and short of this is there's more than meets the eye to Quora. And you've discovered this. Do you acknowledge that you know this to him? Or do you keep this hidden to yourself?
Yeah, I guess I'll acknowledge it.
Okay.
I'll call him out on it. Be like, you're a lot stronger than... Like, I guess, like, I'll tease him and be like, why are you going so easy on me? You definitely are a lot stronger in combat on the Voyager earlier. And you clearly seem like you're a lot stronger than that as well.
He gives you a wry smirk and sheathes his sword. I can't let everybody know every trick I have up my sleeve. But I believe we've had enough time sparring for now. Come. Let's have a drink and some dinner. Quite famished after all this working out. He heads back into the Dragon Turtle Inn. He sees the table that your party is seated at, and he finds a seat alongside the group of you. That was quite a long journey we had. Very eventful, in my opinion. Wouldn't you all agree?
Sorry, my headset cut out. What happened?
Quara sat down next to you and he asked you if you agree that the journey you had getting here was eventful and long.
Yeah, most definitely.
Not a huge fan of open seas, so it was much longer than I'd like. Good outcome, though. We did make it here. So about you, Quara, what's your next step? You're gonna hang out in the city for a while.
I shall be here for a few days. I have more business associates to attend to. There are various villages and towns throughout the region of Gunderland that are going to report to me here with their requests for certain material goods. And so I'll be staying here at the Dragon Turtle Inn. Depending on when you arrive back, I might seek passage on the voyage to return to mainland.
You've been here for the better part of a day at this point. Was there anything that popped out as. Are people asking for a lot of something that they usually aren't?
Oh, typical things. Tools made of materials they can't afford or find here otherwise. The Scrimshander make a great deal of product, and they're going to need somebody to move it, and so there's a lot of money in that, especially for the mainlanders.
Business as usual.
Give me an insight check.
Okay.
It's very clear to you that he's not letting on as much as he could.
Just waffling.
Yeah. It's like a little bit too business as usual. And for a guy like Quora, this is understating what he's doing to an immense degree.
How did one such as yourself get passage on our ship over here? I would imagine with the business you do, you have other ships in your employ, or uh, rather voyage on smaller vessels.
I am but a simple merchant. I take whatever ships are available to me. I saw the voyage was departing. They had a reasonable fee for such a trip, and so I took it. I'm quite frugal, as you can see. And he looks down at his clothing, and he kind of fixes the chain on his neck, tucks it back into his shirt, and you can see he does wear simple, unadorned clothing. He doesn't look particularly wealthy or anything.
Was our ship actively like taking on other passengers besides people who were working for the Lord's Alliance?
A few, yeah. There was Quora.
Okay.
Actually, basically just Quora.
Yeah, that's kind of why I asked him. He's like the only outsider here.
All right. So with that, if you guys like, we can fast forward to the next morning where you guys speak with the Jarl. Does that sound good to everybody?
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll say you guys decide to go to rest for the evening. Why don't we take a 5-7 minute break? Come back at 8:55.
Cool.
All right.
Be right back.
See you all in 7 minutes.
Yol.
Yo. How you
I
doing?
need, I need to watch more Aussie movies. Movies from Australia.
Are you Australian? I thought you were British.
I'm mixing between the both the two because I suck.
It's cool. I like that you're trying to a voice at least.
Yeah,
I like
I
the
can
voice.
never like hit
Yeah,
it
it's
head
good.
on.
And you'll get the hang of it too. Like if you just watch the show with Australian people in it,
Right.
that helps a lot. Like you know what you do? This is exactly what you do. Watch The Traitors Australia.
I know. That's what I need to just do. what's in Fiskerbach that seems to bring everyone over there?
Some kind of shipwreck, an alien shipwreck.
Is the Lord's Alliance pretty much sent us here to go check that place out to help this king out, who we're gonna go talk to, and then go check out the crash site.
Okay. All right, cool. Yeah, no, that'd be neat. Well, it's a shipwreck. Do you guys receive like something water breathing?
Yeah, did we get any potions of water breathing from the person?
I think we need to stop there. She needed to make it, I think.
And you got that cloak, right?
Yeah, there's a cloak of the Manray for breathing. They were selling potions of water breathing at the store, but we never asked about the price. But we did bring the seaweed, so maybe we can just get some made.
Do we have rope? I think we have rope, right?
I've got some rope. I'm not sure how much rope we have in total. We've already bought out all health potions possible.
Cool. I think we're ready to go check out that shipwreck. How are we getting there? Is there someone that's going to provide?
We gotta talk to the king first. They're the one who brought us here, so I'm sure the king is gonna be like, you have to do this and this and this. Where is the king, John, on this map? Am I missing a castle? Is it this thing
All the way
here?
to the south there. Yep.
A slightly bigger building than the rest of them. I'm down to go talk to the king in the morning.
Have you ever spoken to a king before?
Oh,
You, d-
out
you,
the forest, maybe?
you did speak to Lord Umber Neverember of Neverwinter, who is kind of a king, but not really a king.
Other than the guy we just talked to at the last city we were at. Some big tribes out there, and I've been friends with some of the heads of those, but nothing more than a few hundred people. How about yourself?
Not I.
I would have thought your talents would, fetch a lot of people, especially those higher up.
Oddly enough, never ran into a king before. You know, royalty is usually buried in a highly secured area.
I just figured those really high up people would have a lot of bodies they want to talk to. But I guess maybe they have their own ways of doing that.
Kings don't get their hands dirty, that's for sure. They have someone else set the job for them. And plenty of them I've spoken to, that's for sure.
So your group wakes up the next morning. You head downstairs. Breakfast is already set out for you, for your group in particular. Quora is nowhere to be seen. The other crew members stayed aboard the ship for the evening, as is pretty traditional. Is there anything you'd like to do before you head off to the Stonerise Keep?
Not I.
All right. So, a group of you begin heading a little bit further south. Not a particularly long trip. Post this to the chat. By the way, you can click on these images and it'll open a larger version of it. The crumbling fortress of Stonerise Keep overlooks the port of Gunbarg. Although it has been beaten by wind and wave, the keep is still an imposing building, its high towers searching the ocean for any who would dare challenge it. Up close, you begin to realize that the fort has taken some serious damage over the years. Several sections are almost entirely collapsed, and the seaward wall has fallen away over the 100-foot cliffs. You are escorted through the ruins of an outer fortress before reaching the relatively undamaged central keep. A huge pair of iron-banded doors swing open before you, revealing an immense feast hall, lit by flaming braziers. At the head of the hall is King Olgrave Redax. A man as weather-beaten as his castle, he rises from his throne, throwing his arms out wide. "Welcome to Stormrise Keep, the Warden of the Waves, ancestral home of House Redax," he says to you. "Please, come inside. We have food and drink awaiting you. I would like to get to business sooner than later, however."
Well, we thank you for your hospitality.
"The pleasure is all mine. I have been waiting a great deal of time for the Lord's Alliance to send people to investigate this most strange occurrence."
I didn't realize there was such a delay. I thought this had just happened.
Just give me 1 second. Happened, what would say, about 10 days ago at this point. You look at him, middle-aged man, with reddish brown hair, topped with an iron crown. The crown itself is decorated with mother of pearl and iridescent shells. He's broad-shouldered with sturdy legs and thick arms. Clearly the body of someone who has taken part in the rowing of these great longships for many, many years. You get the immediate impression from his demeanor that he is incredibly grateful to have the group of you, and accommodating at that, despite the sort of harsh wariness that a lot of the people of this city have offered to you. He is more than amicable and charismatic. He looks at you with steely blue eyes, with a great deal of appreciation that the group of you are here.
I'll bow to him and say, "We're here to serve. We wish only for you to share with us any more information you or your scouts may have garnered in the time that has passed."
"Of course. You have but to ask, and I can answer whatever it is you wish. But first, we must discuss the exact nature of the issue that you will be investigating. You see, the wreck you are going to investigate is not safe. The Jarl of that region, Jarl Frostgale, has told me that several villagers died when it crashed, and more have gone missing since. Also, I am not sure I can believe this." And he kind of looks around the room. Also in the room, you can see some of his large, burly soldiers and guards in attendance, as well as the assistant from earlier. "I'm not sure I can believe this, but there are rumors that the ship came not from the sea, but from the sky. Now, Jarl Frostgale is a hothead, but not a fool. She wouldn't entertain such fantasies unless she believed them herself. Me, I don't know what to make of it."
Yes, we've also heard our own rumors about the origins of this ship. And it does seem to be odd.
Perhaps an explosion sent it up in the air.
That is your job to investigate, and whatever information we'll be most thankful for once you return. The trip to Fiskerbach is but a 3-day journey by road, and I suggest staying to the road. Now that we are part of the Lord's Alliance, we do not have as many patrols dedicated to protecting the interior of the island. Many of my soldiers have been sent off to fight against these pirate attacks, as you have heard. We offer a great deal of nautical strength to the Lord's Alliance, and serve an important role in the protection of the Sword Coast. Unfortunately, this has left us weak and defenseless in some areas. This is why I have requested some of you from the mainland with the capacity to investigate these strange occurrences.
Have you sent anybody else ahead of us? Anybody we can meet when we get there?
I have not, but perhaps Jarl Frostgale has.
And-
where is he the Jarl of?
Jarl Frostgale, first off, is a woman. Do not get that
Sorry
mixed
about
up.
that.
She will lop your head off at the first sight of inconsiderate behavior. She, and he kind of like scratches his chin. You can say she wishes for a return to the old ways of our island. Piracy and raiding. Reaving throughout the Sword Coast. He gestures his arms with great animation. But I say no. Under my rule, Gunderlin will be a place of peace and strength for the people of the Sword Coast. She thinks the Lord's Alliance is a waste of time, but she doesn't understand the intricacies of what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to bring this island into the modern world. It doesn't help that this wreck has claimed the lives of several of her villagers.
And from what you've said about her, it doesn't sound like she'd take something like this lying down.
Though I'm sure she has very poor things to say about me, which is her right. She is upset I have taken so many of her greatest warriors and placed them on ships to deal with the pirate threat.
How long would it take us to travel from here to Piskerbach?
No more than 3
On this
days
road.
by road.
Are there any things we should possibly know of for the voyage?
The road may be treacherous. The nature of the road itself is not particularly well developed. This is something I have indeed contemplated working on in the future. But there are certain threats upon this island that you should be wary of. Ogres, trolls, even giants have made their homes in the mountains of Gunderlin. They are to be avoided if possible. Dangerous creatures, I am sure. I have heard of the exploits of your party upon the ship, the Voyage, where you were attacked by sea trolls. Is this true?
Indeed.
Then you know how deadly these beasts are.
In the interest of maybe evading them, do they happen upon the roads often?
Now that
Are
the
we safe for sticking there?
since patrols have diminished as of late, I am afraid the answer is yes. Typically, we send large groups and retinues in order to protect precious cargo and travelers. However, in this current state of piracy, we are unable to do so. I must also ask, nay, demand, as king of this island, that you will perform one more small task for me in this journey. And at that point, one of the doors in the hall opens, and Stor Hornraven, the Viking messenger who traveled with you on the ship, he steps out. He's beaming a great big smile, his arms out wide. He walks up and grabs onto Sif in particular, picking him up in a big bear hug.
Door!
A pleasure to see you again, my friend. Yes. Stor. Is the boy with you? Yes, of course, my king. Boy, get out here. And that's when the boy that you rescued on the ship earlier, Burn Rhymewave, steps out. This gangly teen, no more than 13 or 14 years old. a bit of a nervous wreck, completely out of his element, surrounded by these big, strong Viking warriors, steps out, holding one of his arms sheepishly as he acknowledges the group of you. You can see that he has a sack full of what look to be traveling supplies over his shoulder. You are to bring this boy with you to Viskabak. He has family there. He will be living with them. It is unfortunate, but we have not been able to find his parents. It seems that they and their ship have disappeared at sea. Another loss to the Sea Devils.
King Red Axe, but our job is going to be pretty dangerous. It seems like that, at least. Is it really wise for us to bring a child along with us? Can he not go with someone else?
I have been assured by the Lord's Alliance that your group are more than capable, which is why I am placing this boy under your care. Bring him to his home. I have the utmost belief in your capacity.
As long as the boy is with us, I will do everything I can to defend him, but the wild is harsh.
You hear that, boy? Keep an eye out. And that dagger we gave you, use it if you must. But hide when you can. Let them do the fighting, eh? And he gives a big smack to the back of the kid, who kind of stumbles forward, just says, He looks completely out of his element. This is not something he wants to be doing at all. But regardless,
He may die at any moment.
regardless, he steps up to your group and just sort of eyeballs the group of you. Make sure you collect whatever belongings it is you might need. Supplies for the journey ahead. Find whatever information you can about this craft, whatever it is, and return to me once you have it.
Have you received any word? Has anything emerged from the craft?
This I am unsure of. Jarl Frostgale should be able to direct you to any information she has about it. The craft lies within her region. She has first-hand accounts.
King Red Axe, and I'll bow down. I don't mean to be crass, but a bit of gold would assist on this journey, especially with the boy and all. Would you be so kind to spare for the journeys?
Speak no further. He claps his hands, and his assistant steps out and returns with a small chest. She hands it to you, Zathir. You open it, and inside are 10 gold coins per member of your party, so 50 gold coins in total. This is but a small taste of what is to offer. Return to me with whatever information you have, and you shall have more riches, if that is what you desire.
Zathir immediately bows down and says, "My Majesty."
Everybody give me an insight test.
Nice.
Okay. Chimera and Zathir, you both catch, based on a little shift in his demeanor, you get the sense that once you brought up the idea of money or restitution for this, you kind of rubbed the king the wrong way, but he has to keep up this facade. And so he ignored the comment and continued moving forward with your request. You get the sense that he's a little bit desperate in this moment, and he doesn't want to scare your group away.
Could I ask, who is the boy's father?
It's a good question. Let me see.
I think his parents are dead, right?
This one's
Presumed dead. Another shipwreck.
presumed dead for sure.
Well, I guess I guess I was curious on the people we're giving him to, who they are, as well as the father. I guess now that I bring it up.
He looks down at the boy. Well, boy, up with it. Tammin. Tammin Rhymewave, sir. You've heard him. The man Tammin Rhymewave. It is unfortunate, but despite searching the shore where his ship was last seen, we have not been able to recover him or his body. Or his mother, for that matter. Once people are lost to the sea, or to the sea devils for that matter, it is all but impossible to find them. Perhaps they have made their way home. This is all we can hope for.
Sir, you're the king of Gunderland. You've trusted us enough to give us this task. Could I ask that you trust us enough to use our own discretion once we're there to do what we think is right? It's a long journey from there back to here, and we may not have the time to ask your permission.
I have complete trust in your group. The Lord's Alliance would only send their best. Do what you must. But know that should you step upon the toes of Jarl Frostgale, it is not my place to protect you. That is her dominion. Your lives would be in her hands.
Thank you very much, Your Majesty.
I suggest you get started early. The sooner you leave, the sooner you get to Fiskaback. I have other things to attend to. Apologize for my rudeness. I must depart for now. And with that, he doesn't bow to you. He just nods and turns, and some of his guards leave with him. His assistant stays behind and offers to answer any questions you might have before departing. And also, all 5 of you can add 10 gold coins to your character sheets. If you haven't already, of course.
That was clutch.
Yeah, I get the sense if we didn't ask for it, he wouldn't give us any money. But maybe, who knows?
In my line of work, if you don't ask for it, you don't get it.
I'd like to ask the assistant about what's happened in the neighboring towns and cities now that they're not under protection, now that the king isn't around.
She says that because they are devoting so much strength to the Lord's Alliance efforts to deal with these pirates, there has been a rise in attacks by creatures that live in the mountains upon the various domains in Gunderland. It is certainly not as safe as it once was. We hope that this pirate's scourge ends sooner than later. The vision that the king has for this island can only begin once we can bring our soldiers home and return them to their homes.
How about the status of Baranzo?
Baranzo. She looks at Shio curiously. We do not speak of Baranzo on this island. It is a dark place.
It's on your map. It must be important.
Once it was important, yes. People came from outside of the island many, many years ago, long before even my mother was born. to create there a mine. They made a deal with the neighboring regions, in particular the people of Fiskerbach. In exchange for rights to this particular mine, they would be granted weapons and armor crafted from the ore dug up from the earth. For a time, this deal was honored, but something strange happened to the miners who went inside. The deeper they went, the more mad they went. At first, it started off simple. Men throwing angry fits of sadness, covetous greed, violence, even. But the more they dug, and the darker the mine became, their minds began to break utterly and completely. It wasn't long before the mine closed down, a failed project. Whispers of the horrors that lie within permeate the entire island. This is why it is a dark place, where no one goes.
Is this the place that the locals described to be haunted?
Yes. Burn, Rhymewave, sort of, he pipes up. It's definitely haunted. I've been there.
You have? What's down there?
Well, I've never been inside. I've just been on the surface. My
And what's
cousins.
it like?
I once dared my cousin to go deep inside, and well, he did. But when he came out, he was different. He was bitter and angry, and he was never the same after that.
Does your cousin live in Baranzo or in Fiskerbach with the rest of your family?
In Fiskerbach.
Awesome. You wouldn't be able to introduce me to him, would you?
Oh, it would be my pleasure.
Cool.
He kind
We'll
of
have
like,
a lot to talk about on the way there then.
he kind of bristles a little bit when you like engage him, but then he like quickly notices a bunch of eyes on him and shuts down a little bit.
Okay.
What? No need to be shy there, little man. On the journey, you'll let us know a bit more about that.
Yeah, have plenty of time to tell us stories.
He nods and kind of smiles at that. All right. Do you guys have anything else to ask the assistant here?
Okay.
And then I'm also going to move you guys over to the storehouse if you wish to purchase any last minute items.
3 days, right? We have plenty of food.
Yeah, you should
Tons of fucking
have.
food.
You will need a ration per day, per character. Now, those of you who have the ability to forage for food, you can of course forage, but you can only provide a half. What is it? No, I think with your special foraging
Wait.
ability, Sif,
He could.
I think you can like
Yeah.
technically
Yeah, I
feed
think
the
I can-
entire group every day, but you need to spend
Depending
time
on how
doing
many
it.
people.
How many people can you feed with that ability?
I'm gonna look up the details.
Also, rations are 20 pounds per day. That's crazy.
No, they're 2 pounds each. You probably have 10 on your character.
Oh, I don't see the number. It just says 1 out of 1.
If you hover over it, it should say a number.
Oh, I see. Thank you. Okay, great.
And up to 5 other people. So that's 6 people in total.
That's everybody, right?
Yep,
Because we're just bringing the kid.
Should be everybody in the group. That's perfect.
All right. In that case, I won't buy that many rations.
I also have 20 pounds of extra rations, so we're probably good as far as food's concerned.
Oh, and
Alright.
Thanks
also,
for carrying my
Oh, well.
food.
also
Okay.
Zathir, in the event that it gets... You are going to want traveler's clothes, because that's going to
Mm-hmm.
give you a bonus if it gets very cold out.
You did miss that part where we bought Travis coats for all of
Yeah,
us.
people bought that last time.
All right, I'll pick that up.
Oh, and let me configure your backpack really quick. Backpacks. Zathir bags. I've already set you up with a backpack, so let me just... where is this? This? Here we go. Oop. Oop. There we go. So now, Matt,
Do I-
if you're on your character sheet, if you click the icon for your backpack, a little window should pop up that says Zathir's backpack. Let me know if you can confirm that for me.
Yeah,
Okay.
I see it.
So then all you have to do to move stuff into your backpack is under your, like there's that little window section. Click the box icon next to an item. That'll move it into your backpack. So for example, if you want to put your Poisoner's Kit or your Merfolk Treasure or whatever, you can move that into there.
So this is kind of odd.
What's up?
Maybe it's just the way it is formatted. If I try to click that little box that you said
Mhm.
to transfer it, the bar to scroll up and down appears and covers it, so I can't click on it.
Try widening the window.
Yeah, I mean, widening doesn't help because it's that box stays all the way to the right. Let me,
If you widen it further, it doesn't make room for it. Because that's not happening for me. Do you have it like popped out? Is that the problem?
actually, making it popped out works better.
Cool.
So I'll just try it like that. There you go. Cool, thanks.
And let me make sure that you have access to that backpack, actually. I think you do. Oh, that might be a problem. Let me configure ownership. Make you the owner of that. Awesome. You already got it. So you should be all good to go.
Do I need proficiency in a healer's kit to use it?
Yes. I think so. Proficiency. Yes. Kits you generally need to be proficient with.
Okay.
Oh, wait. No. There's no proficiency with the healer's kit rules as written.
Cool.
Everyone can use a healer's kit. Okay, cool. Yep, it's like the one kit that doesn't have proficiency.
Because we have a child with us and we're going out into the wilderness, I'll spend 5 gold and buy a healer's kit.
Okay, great. Let's see. All this kid has is he has a stick,
Nice, that
which
works.
is a walking stick, which is a club, and he has a dagger. Otherwise, he just
Can I
has...
buy him a slingshot?
Yeah, that's a good idea. Good idea. Give him a ranged weapon. It's gonna
Yeah.
turn him into a killer.
The only weapons he knows how to use are a dagger and a club.
Can I show? I want to show this kid how to use a sling.
Yeah, it's a long trip. We can teach him.
How about a blowgun? There's blowgun.
Right?
We're training a little assassin, little blowgun assassin.
I'm gonna grab a couple of those blowgun needles since they're free.
Well, that's just ammo. You don't have to worry about ammo and stuff like that. It's not going to help you because there's unlimited ammo in this game.
All right, you can take one of my slings and give it to the kid.
Sure.
You have 2 slings?
Well, I bought one for me and him, a matching pair, you know, and teach him how to use it.
I'll give him
It's
a
themed after
sling.
like Fishbone or something.
Sling.
Themed to the island.
Sure. We'll say he can use a sling, but that's it. And he sucks at it, by the way. I don't know if you've seen his stats.
Oh,
He's a kid.
He's got 4 health and
Can't
10s
wait.
and everything.
great! It's gonna surprise you.
Yeah, he can still crit.
That is true. Those Sailors were rolling lots of crits last time.
Should we buy him a shovel?
Can we buy a full plate? He can't use any armor, right?
No,
It's just a regular guy, a regular kid.
he has no armor proficiencies.
He is stronger and smarter than me.
Oh no.
Let's see what else.
He pats you in the back and you fall over.
Oh, you're already at the store. Do you want to speak to Granny Saltwood to pick up your potion?
Oh yeah.
Great. Yeah, you can feel free to ask her whatever it is you like, and she has the potion ready for your group. It is a smelly, oceany concoction, but she assures you that it works just as well as anything that you would find in a proper alchemist's shop. So I'm going to drag the potion of water breathing onto the ground. Whoever wants it, you can go ahead and take it.
Could we also ask the Saltwood storehouse guy how much water breathing potions are?
Potions of water breathing are 50 gold pieces each, and it
Jesus.
takes her 1 day to make one. So this is the first one that she's made, so she'll be able to make one a day for the next 10 days in a row.
How much? Because we gave her the seaweed, can she make it for us and then we can pick up when we get back? Maybe conscript make 5 of them for us and we'll pick them when we get back here.
You'll have to pay for them.
50 gold each.
Yes.
Okay. A lot. But this first one she's giving us is free, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
Sorry for the siren, but Umberlee gave me some guidance, Granny Saltwood. But do you have any advice on our journey forward? You seem wise.
She says to you, I had a dream last night. A dream where people stepped into the bounds of a dark and black abyss. That place's heart beats with the echoes of forgotten whispers, child. Miners dance with shadows and sanity crumbles like shale in their minds. The rock sings a song, a lullaby that veers into madness. And those who dare to pluck the gems from its depths hear the dissonant harmony that drives men to the brink. Beware the glinting treasures, for they are but reflections of the mind's ancient hunger.
I'll keep that in mind.
Have a safe trip now.
Thank you. Stay well.
She returns to her boiling cauldron filled with seaweed. So the group of you are ready to depart. Are there any other last-minute things you would like to do before we move to the Gunderlin map? Going once. Going twice.
Sold.
All right, so your party
Nice.
is represented by this unit here. Each day you will move along the road. I'm assuming along the road. You can, of course, go anywhere. 5 hexes. Moving off of the road costs you basically 2 more squares of movement, or 2 more hexes of movement. So it's faster to go by road than it is to not. That being said, You begin your journey fairly early in the morning of the 9th day of the month of Hammer. It is a cold and brisk morning, and your group sets off into the vast expanse of Gunderlin. You can see off in the distance the massive spine of mountains, Gunderlin Ridge. Its peaks ever so slightly topped with snow as you begin traversing this long and a quiet road. The grass beneath your feet slowly turning brown as winter creeps in. The waters surrounding the island turning that dark shade of blue-green, a sign of the winter months to come. And because you're following the road, no navigation tests are required. However, after several hours of travel, you notice something strange in the distance. Something unexpected as you travel along this forest road. You see in the distance what appears to be a knight sitting atop a barded warhorse. To her left is a young girl, perhaps a squire, with a similar colored tabard, holding a spear and a small buckler in her hand. And to her right, a massive pirate, a Goliath, his arms chained by 3 sets of manacles, weaponless, completely defenseless, his manacles tied by a heavy chain to the horse itself. They are both moving along the road in your direction. You can see the Goliath is being kind of dragged along, and he's berating the group of them as they move. What do you do?
Did you look at the size of that thing?
Do you need another set of manacles?
Stay behind this boy.
He
Just in case we know,
he
until
looks
we know
at you
everything
and,
is safe.
like nods immediately. You don't have to tell him twice.
Here, in fact, I bought a whole bunch of whistles for everyone here. You never know if you ever in need of one. And I'll hand out whistles to everyone, including the boy.
Okay.
Did you really buy a bunch of whistles?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Here's a pile of whistles. Feel free to take. Well, that's one whistle. Here's another. That's another whistle. There's your whistles.
Why did you buy so many whistles?
He just throws the whistles and they get them, you pigs.
Here, bought you all these whistles.
Yeah.
These
Here,
dirty whistles.
Oops.
Give one to the boy as well.
I took
So-
two whistles.
Oh, you took too many whistles.
I think you can just drag it onto the ground. It'll drop it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Control the boy so he gets it. So
Is the boy supposed to get one? Which one is he getting? This one?
yeah, sure.
I don't think I can add it directly, so I'll just delete this, blammo, and I'll just give him a whistle.
Kid just starts blowing on the whistle all the time.
Take that whistle back.
Zethir specifically tells him only if in dire need.
He nods, and he watches as this knight approaches. What does your group do?
Just greet the knight as they arrive, I think.
Hail, travelers, the person says from atop their steed. Do you have but a moment?
Just a moment.
The squire steps up. You will have more than that, cur. You speak to Lady Marshawn Amanda Chilcott, the Knight of Tyr, the Knight of the Merciful Sword. The knight looks down at the squire and says, Enough. Quiet, girl. The girl immediately stops herself. I apologize for my squire. She is rambunctious, I'm sure you can see.
No matter. Children will be children. What can we do for you?
The pirate immediately speaks up. Let me free. This woman has illegally and unlawfully bound me. Quiet. And she backhands the Goliath with her gauntleted fist. I'm sure you can already see by the garb this man wears, as well as the many tattoos and other fineries upon him, that he is a villain, a pirate that I have captured here upon this island.
Did he have a ship with him and a whole crew?
The crew and the ship I have not been able to find.
Well, what thievery has this man done?
Yes, what crime did you see him commit?
I have done no thievery, no crime. This woman lies. I have seen the cove. I have seen the cove that he and his compatriots have taken. They seek to use it as a settlement in which to perform their attacks upon the land of Gunderlin. Lies! He spits on the ground. If my hands were free, I'd tear you off that horse and rip you limb from limb. The pirate looks over at your group, and then he's suddenly, taken aback. Kai? By the sea, is that you?
Yeah, it's me.
Oh, let me free. This woman, she is a liar. A foul brute. She cares not for the law. She just seeks retribution against our people.
Well, it seems you really don't know Kai, so let's settle down with the insults there.
He just looks at you and seeds a little bit.
You know this person, Kai.
Yeah, he was on a ship that I was also on before. And I'm sure that if he was on the ship with Jarl Bluebeard, then they must be up to something.
So you don't trust them?
No, I don't at the moment.
Do you think, should we really interfere with this?
It's none of our business. We have our own things we gotta take care of.
I know you wish to
Yes.
get back in Jarl Bluebeard's favor. Release me. I will go to him and I will speak nothing but good words of you. I swear it. On my code as a pirate. So you admit it. You admit to piracy in front of me.
Lady Shercott, where is it that you're bringing the prisoner to?
It is unfortunate that I must bring him to the village of Gunderlin, or Gundbarg, so that he may find a proper position. Not within a prison, perhaps. My order is thoroughly against the idea of prisoners. We seek only to reform these men, change their way of living so that they have no desire to perform such terrible feats as piracy and reaving.
You mentioned their encampment, so you say there's more.
Yes, and this is a task that I have for the group of you. If you would do me the favor, nay, the honor, bring him with you. If not to Gunbarg, then perhaps to the village of Fiskerbach, where he may find a ship that will take him and, hopefully, bring him back into the realm of good-natured folk such as you and I. Let go of me, you fascist!
You want us to escort your prisoner to Fiskerbach?
Yes, so that I may return to this settlement and remove it from whence it came, and ensure that no more pirates return.
But we just left Gumbarg.
Yeah, that sounds like
Yeah,
a you
you're-
problem.
You're asking
You're
us to go
closer
back?
to Gunbarg.
No, or
You-
take him to Fiskerbach.
Yeah, but you're closer to Gunderbarg than we are to Fiskbarg. Whatever, you know?
She
Look, we'll gladly
have a
take the
horse.
prisoner. leave him to us.
You want to bring
eh,
them along? It's another
What?
mouth to feed for
Well,
3 days.
He's pretty dangerous.
He'd be better in our hands than theirs, huh?
I don't want anything to do with
But-
these people.
But she just
S-
said either Gundervarg or Fiskerbach. And we
Where's she
just left
heading?
Gundervarg.
So we're going to Fiskevok anyway.
She's going
But-
to. You get the sense that she's going to return to wherever this settlement is and clear it out of pirates.
If we take him, he could be a helping hand in our journey to Fiskerbach.
Or he could kill us in our sleep.
Yeah, you'd think
Is
you
this
could
like-
all change
Is she
his
working
views
alone?
with your
It
religion
seems like
there.
it's just the two of them.
She has her squire.
But it's just the two of them trying to reform all the pirates? Is that your goal? Is that a personal goal, or are you working with a group?
This is the goal of the merciful sword, the mighty god Tyr, to reform these deviants and bring them back into the light of society.
Look, if you guys aren't really there to take this man, I say we just tell him we have the boy, and we can't really risk the boy to get injured.
I'm gonna default to Kai on this. You know this person best. If you think they're dangerous to travel with, I have no interest in inviting that dynamic into our trip. But if you think they're not, then I'm fine with bringing somebody to somewhere they need to go.
I mean, we do outnumber him, and he's in manacles. So as long as we keep a close eye on him, I think we'll be able to manage him.
I think this could help you get back in that man's Bluebeard's good graces as well. If you take this man along and we release him maybe somewhere along the way or what have you, I don't see him looking to harm us. He's going to apparently he's going to be released when he gets back to Gunderbarg anyway. Gunbarg.
Being rehabilitated.
Perhaps. I don't think Bluebeard cares one way or another.
Or if he offers us some gold to help him out and take the pirates out.
You can see that she's actively approaching your group.
We need to make a decision quickly.
I ask you not to take on this task lightly. This pirate is mighty for sure, but my god Tyr has bestowed upon me a gift to analyze the people around me and to determine if they be good folk or not, and in this I see of you. Swear to me this knightly oath that you shall take him to Fiskerbach, and I shall see that you are rewarded greatly. However, know this, should you turn your back upon this oath, I shall find you, and I shall seek retribution.
I don't think any of us are knights, and we're not really want to take oaths. But if you want to leave this guy in our hands, we're bringing him to where he needs to go. So I can give you my word, but I'm not taking an oath.
She looks down at you. You disappoint me, warrior. An oath is all we have to stand by.
An oath is a shackle that binds us down.
We are not all children of obligation, are we?
Sif won't say anything to that.
Fine.
Very
Give
well.
us the prisoner. We'll take him to Fiskebach.
She unseats from her horse, removes the chain, and pulls hard, yanking the pirate almost to his knees. You're surprised by her strength. And she steps forward and hands the chains to Sif in particular. They seem to be one of the stronger warrior types of the group.
Net. So you guys, you two, yourselves, are going to take care of a whole crew of pirates. Is that correct?
Yes. In this you shall have no fear. The god Tyr has blessed me with his divine might.
You know, considering our circumstances, we have a duty to the king. Himself has required us to deliver this boy. And now you're putting him in harm's way with the escorting of this prisoner as well. A little compensation might help here.
You have already agreed to my terms. This discussion is over.
Well,
Bring him to Fiskerbach, and I shall see you at some point in the future. But recall my words. Turn your back on me, and you shall know my fury. Come, Eloise. We venture forth to this terrible settlement to rid this island of piracy. With that, the group turn back around. I know she's upside down, but they continue heading off. And your group
well, what's yeah?
is left alone in this stretch of forest road with this large, very large pirate. Like, all of you guys are tall. This guy's like 7.5 feet tall. Really, not like wide. He's kind of like tall and lanky. But he's definitely dangerous. Like, if he got his hands around somebody, he could easily mangle them. And he looks over at Kai. Kai! What are the odds I'd run into you? Quick! Break these manacles. Get me out of here.
Not so fast.
What are you talking about? Come on, she'll be half a mile away before she even knows.
What's your rush?
Look, if she's going to go take care of those pirates, I have to go warn them.
Yeah, you're still loyal to Bluebeard?
Of course. Are you not?
No, I'm good. I'm making my own life now.
After everything he's done for you, bringing you in, even offering you the chance to buy your own freedom.
Yeah, at a ridiculous price.
He looks at you. You've changed, Kai. I've seen what you can do. I've seen the glee that you've taken previously in the deaths of others. I don't know what's gotten into you. I don't like it.
Well, could say the same for you.
He just turns away. He looks disappointed. Sif, you have the chain in your hand. What do you do?
Alright, what's your name, big guy?
He doesn't answer.
Listen, we're gonna be
It's-
stuck with each other for a couple. Oh, yes, Kai?
It's Uthak.
Uthak, alright. Well, Uthak, we're gonna be stuck together for a few days at least. I don't really give a shit about what's happening between you and these paladins, but we did give this person our word, so we can't let you go immediately.
Yeah, or else he's gonna unleash his wrath amongst us.
What was that?
What a turd.
Stick with us for a while. Like I said, if you find some way to get away, not the biggest deal.
You can see he's just kind of like annoyed and peeved. You get the sense that he felt like he was going to be free, and it's been pulled out from under him like a rug. And so with that, your group returns to the Gunderlin map, where you continue your trip. Let's see, you've got 1, 2, 3. Okay. You continue moving down the road. Oh, go ahead.
At some point, maybe like once a day or something, I want to make a perception check to see if we're being followed. Like, I want to just take a while to look behind us.
Sure. So what I'm doing is I'm using your passive abilities for that. Your passive is a 15. That's pretty good. Doing an actual perception check is like you're stopping everything you're doing and you're focusing on one thing for like 5 or 10 minutes.
Okay.
So like, for example, when you're searching for stuff, that's the difference between an active search and an inactive search. So your characters are constantly like looking around behind yourselves, that's like passive stuff. But if you wanted to perform a thing, you'd have to stop what the whole group is doing and be like, I'm gonna make sure no one's coming, and just stare in that direction for like 5 minutes.
Okay. So can I say like at the end of the day, I would do that, like with
Absolutely.
like a cast guidance on myself and do
Cast
that.
guidance, you scour the area around you. I'll
Yeah.
even say you have guidance up like permanently. You're just casting it on yourself every few minutes.
Yeah.
Totally reasonable, I think. And yeah, you're looking around. As far as you can tell, you're not being followed or shadowed in any way. And eventually, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Your group manages to find a nice clearing off in the forest where you can make your camp for the evening, the first evening of your voyage along these roads. So we go to the forest camp map. And so I've tried to make some of these like special to your characters, these little tents and stuff.
That is sweet.
And let's get Uthak in here as well.
Chimera got a fancy ass tent over there. Look at that thing.
Yeah, I
Sleep in style.
tried to add little things that like match your characters' personalities. So like, you know, we got like crossbows, black leather boots, put some wine and grapes and shit next to Chimera's tent. But yeah, you guys, you don't want to overexert yourself traveling, and so you decide to dig in, set up camp for the evening, and get a full nice rest, especially with how dark the winter evenings are here. It's a little dangerous to travel the roads at night, even despite having dark vision. What are you doing with Uthak in particular?
I guess we could have him seated near the fire pit.
Just like on this
Yeah,
little,
do we need to keep a watch?
on this little stool here?
The kids there too. Can anyone cook?
I think Devin's
I guess
character
not.
can, but he did say he'd be right back after a minute.
Oh.
I think
I also
Sorry,
picked up.
I've been back, but my microphone was off.
Sure.
Okay.
I can gather food. My cooking is probably not amazing. I can make food if we need to eat, but it won't be very good.
I was just thinking, it would be really cool if I just took the cooking proficiency, and then I could probably I bought cooking utensils at the store.
I can grab some ingredients if you want to put something together.
Do you want to say instead of a poisoner's thing that you
Yeah,
you
yeah.
picked up cooking? Cool.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
please don't get it mixed up.
Or that you changed your poisoners. So we're changing your Whispers of the Dead to cooking tools, right?
Yeah.
Do you have cooking tools?
I picked up cooking utensils. So if you want to do the hunting, Zethir all of a sudden has the knowledge of past cooks.
Okay, change
That's
your...
and the way I like to see it is that the tiers that he collected throughout the years, maybe, some of them had particular skills, and I guess I got a few good chefs.
Alright, so Sif will bring back like some game meat and collections of berries and everything, and hand them over to Zethir, and just kind of see this happen and be like, so you can learn their skills and their tasks or things they used to be able to do.
It seems so. I really don't know how I came about this power to begin with. Like I said, I did read a manuscript from the Temple of Osiris. And, well, unleashed this power. Who knows what other chapters there are within this book of knowledge.
Yeah, it seems to have a very tangible effect when you read it. You've stolen some pretty good knowledge. I'm surprised you
What I
could learn
could
how to cook so quickly. I thought it would take at least a little bit more time, but watching you chop everything.
What is Chimera up to?
I would say she's just like hanging out, observing everyone, and kind of just like keeping to herself.
Okay. How about Domo?
I'd like to make that perception check. Look for maybe like some smoke trails, some campfires behind us, or something like that.
Sure. Give me a perception test.
Nice.
Yeah, at this moment,
Whoa.
you're looking,
28.
you're looking around, but you don't see anything. You haven't been followed for sure. No one is making it obvious at the very least.
Okay.
Man,
Got-
you needed a 30 to see who was following us.
Can I do an augury as well? An augury ritual?
Sure.
All right. I want to know if
what the
we
fuck?
should free this pirate.
That's crazy.
I'm sorry, what was your question?
I want to know if we should free this pirate.
An action that you plan to take within the next 30 minutes.
That's a good question.
Wheel and woe is the response you get. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me see if this works. Hold on, watch this. Wheel and woe.
Nice. All right.
I mean, I think we could let him go, but we did tell them that we were going to bring them there, and if we don't bring them there, that'll be another problem from someone else that we just don't have time to deal with.
I'm not sure, but I don't have much faith that a single warrior will be able to take out a cove of pirates.
I would like to ask Uthak, how did he get caught?
He looks at you.
You know,
Hand me a glass of mead and one of those sausages, and I'll talk.
Sure. I make him a plate and I put it in front of him.
He like kind of reaches down with his hands bound and manages to pick up both, one in each hand. He brings his arms up awkwardly and drinks deep from the mead. Takes a big honking bite out of the sausage. You get a sense that this is like the first good food he's had in a while. And he says, "That night is stronger than she seems. She caught me unawares, swinging that holy sword of hers. I'm a pretty good fighter myself. I didn't stand a chance. She killed 2 of my men. Like they were children. 1 swipe, 2 heads on the floor." He
all
kinda-
by herself?
He nods. "That squire, too. She may be young. She has a gift. She threw the spear, taking another one out before they could even respond. She'll be a great warrior yet."
So you think there's a chance they could actually clear out that encampment?
I'd be surprised if they haven't done it already. I can only hope my men escaped. Return
Did
to
they
the
know
ship.
you were? Did they know you were attacked and taken away?
Aye. I imagine they do. Most probably think I'm dead.
Well, the best you can hope is that they saw that and got out of there when they did.
You can see he just looks disappointed.
Well, it seems like you have quite the eye for a good fight. I reckon you're pretty good yourself.
When I was your age, I could have probably taken that night single-handedly. She didn't get the jump on me.
He takes another big bite out of the sausage. He looks over at Kai. What is Kai doing?
I'm just watching from afar. Like, I'll make the comment like, yeah, none of them came after to look for you.
He looks at you. He doesn't have a response to that. But you get the sense that you like hit him where it hurts.
I kind of say, kind of yell out to Chimera and Kai and say, hey, there's a serving here for you. Come along now.
I'll go and I'll put my book away and I'll head over to grab some food. And as I do, I'll remind Byrne that we're all interested in hearing a story about his cousin and how he went mad.
Oh,
And what he might have seen in the cave.
well, I'm not sure there's much else to tell, if I'm being honest. We were young. Well, younger than I am now, of course. And we would always take turns trying to, push each other to go deeper and deeper into the caves, closer and closer to the mine entrance. Closest I ever got was maybe 30, 40 feet. I didn't have the stones to go any further.
Huh. Weak.
Uthak says as he takes another drink from his mead. The boy kind of gets quiet after that.
Hey, shut up, you. You had your moment.
Did your cousin ever say what he saw down there?
Well, my cousin, Eric. He was always the most daring of us, and it was me and a bunch of the other village boys. We just started egging him on, seeing how far he would go. He was trying to impress this girl, and anyway, he decided to go into the cave, and I didn't think he would do it, but he did. And at first, I thought, oh, he'd go in for a second or two, and then come running out. But he went deep. Not sure where he went, but... See, Eric, he was always a nice, fun guy. He would always had a joke at the ready, but then as soon as he came out, he was just different. It's like he'd seen things that he wasn't supposed to. Anyway, he never heard him tell another joke after that. He just kept to himself, stopped pursuing that girl. She went off to another village somewhere. He didn't even seem like he cared. He just grew angry and bitter. Stopped talking to me entirely. Haven't seen him in a long time.
I'm sorry to hear that about Eric.
And that change was immediate. From the boy he was to the person he became. It was all at once, right? Not gradual?
The Eric I remember went in, and the Eric he is today came out.
As if by magic.
Kind of shrugs. See, he's kind of poking the food on his plate. Uthak kind of looks around. There's like an awkward silence. And he says,
You're all afraid of some cave in the mountains. I was born in the mountains. Nothing to be terrified in those things. Whatever happened to your weak cousin, he probably deserved it. Probably saw a rust monster or a grick, pissed his pants, and was too ashamed to admit it.
Well, as
Maybe
you know,
we should send you into that cave.
Yeah. Why don't you, Kai? Why don't you just let me go? I'll go to this cave.
and the story is the miners lost their minds there. You don't believe this boy either.
I believe that his cousin is a little piss shit brat. And he probably should have died in those caves.
I say we go check out the caves ourselves. We'll see what happens then.
Whatever. Leave me at Fisker back to my fate. Perhaps this reformation that the Knight of the Merciful Sword has for me will actually give me a bit of amusement. Anything better than sitting here listening to your sappy stories about pussy children.
Who knows? It might work.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll be a changed man.
What do you intend to do with me tonight? Have someone keep watch over me the entire evening? I could just run away when you're all sleeping, you know. Strangled that one in her sleep.
He looks over at Kai.
Jarl Bluebeard would pay me a pretty penny, hearing what you said about him.
Well, you can try what you want, but we can keep eyes on you all night. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, you don't need to threaten me, buddy.
I'll say, for someone who's got their lives in our hands, you're not doing a very good job of making us want to let you go. Talking about killing us in our sleep. How about for tonight, you just sleep. And tomorrow we talk about this.
Yeah.
Sif, give me an insight check.
Sure. I wish I was better at insight. I'll use inspiration.
Sure.
I want to start making a habit of using that.
Nice. You get a sense that like he's kind of all bark and no bite right now. He like talks a big game, but you don't think he's really got the fight in him to like try and get away. You get a sense that the manacles are probably doing a good job of like keeping him from like really hurting somebody if he had to. You can see by the way he moves, even by the way he's holding this mug and this sausage, he's like having a hard time doing either of those things.
Okay.
Do we have a key to the manacles, or there's like some way to unlock it? Like,
You know what? That's a good question.
We actually have no way to let you
Yes,
out.
I'll say yes.
You're in Fiskerbach.
She gave you a key, and who would like to hold the key?
Give it to Burn.
what?
No, I'll have them. Thank you.
Yeah, definitely give it to Kai.
Okay, so let me create a key. Duplicate.
Yeah, I think Burn is gonna hold on real tight.
Alright, Burn. Do not let this key go.
Burn, it's your
Very
turn
important.
to stay watch all night long.
All right, so who's holding the key? Is it Kai?
Yes.
All right, I gave you the manacle key. Burn looks over. He kind of like gets some courage again now that everybody's kind of speaking up for him. He looks over at Chimera and asks, "Why are you so interested? I mean, Baranzo is a strange place, but well, seems a bit beneath someone like you, if you don't mind me saying." Oh, okay. And he just looks back down at his sausage. and his vegetables.
Chimera, why didn't you answer the child?
Pretty hardcore, Cameron.
Because I fell asleep.
She got cozy by the fire.
Oh my gosh.
She's
I'm
cozy
I'm
by the
so
fire.
sorry. What did he say? I actually fell asleep.
He asked what your interest in Baranzo was. He said it seemed like it was
Oh.
beneath you.
Well, we heard so much about Fiskerbach, and we were in Gunbarg for 2 days. I thought it would be interesting to ask about Baranzo since it's marked on the map, but I assumed it didn't count compared to the other locations that King Red Axe classified as abandoned from his army. I was just curious what was all the way out there.
Right much. Tell you that.
Okay.
All right. So we move into the nighttime. Typically, nights are set up into shifts. One person stays up, watches the group while they sleep, makes sure they're protected. They alternate shifts. Another person sleeps. A lot of you are elves. Elves only have to sleep for 4 hours a night as opposed to 8. So once you get your 4 hours, you're good. Which makes them great watchers, just in general. So I'm going to let you guys figure out who will be taking watch and what you'll be doing with this guy. Everybody else will need a full 8 hours of sleep, or not sleep entirely, but of rest in general. So there are going to have to be some people who take like only a partial watch. So how do you want to set up the watches for the evening? Who wants first shift?
I can do.
I can take first
I can be-
shift.
Yeah, I can also be part of first shift or first 2 shifts or something. Because I only need 4 hours, so I can get at the end.
Same.
I'll let the elves duke it out.
We can just both just stay up. They only need 4
Yeah.
hours.
I mean, it could be one of me and Zephyr with the elves, as they like. Me and Zephyr only need to do 1 shift of watch or whatever, right? And with
Exactly.
We got full sleep.
to get everybody to a full rest, I think like me and Zephyr just need to do the first and the second, and then the elves can kind of do whatever they want. With like we could have multiple people up at once.
Yeah. Okay. I'll be up for the first. I guess if there's 4 blocks of rest, I'll be up for the first 2, and then sleeping in 3 and 4. We're breaking them down into like 2-hour chunks.
Okay.
Then I'll take 3 and 4.
So we got 1 and 2, and then 3 and 4. We got Sif in 1 and 2. And we got Kai in 3 and 4. Anybody else want to join them during those shifts?
I'll join Kai's shift. I'm not trusting of Uthak. I feel like he's gonna pull something if she was doing it by herself.
Okay. And how about shifts 1 and 2?
Well, I thought JR was saying that Domo and Zephyr should do the first 2 shifts.
No. I mean, like we're the only ones that have to focus
Rest.
on doing shifts and rest longer, I think.
Right.
So
I think we have all the times covered. If you'd like to be up during a certain point, that's fine.
Yeah, you would only need to take part in 1 shift. 1 2-hour-long shift. Because I think
Okay,
you only
I'll
need
do the
you only need 6 hours of sleep, basically.
I'll do the first one then.
Okay, so
Alright.
that'll be Sathir.
I'll do 4 then.
Number 4, that's Domo. And what about Burn? Do you want him to stay up during one of them, or do you want him to just
Let that kid sleep.
Yeah,
Let
he
him
can
rest.
sleep.
Okay, cool. All right, so Sif is on 1 and 2. Okay, cool. So, let's do this. Let's do. Okay. So your group begins to turn in for the evening. Kai, Chimera, and Domo, as well as Burn and Uthak. Sif and Zathir, you stay up. Really quick, what do you want to do with Uthak? Do you want to like tie his chain around a tree or something?
Yeah, sure. We can tie him up like somewhere close to the fire so he's not freezing and also tied up. So it's pretty obvious if he escapes because he's in light.
Okay, so you are prone.
Yeah.
And you are unconscious. All right, so where are you tying him?
I think it's like on a stump, right? Can I tie him to like, is there a tree next to it? I can just tie him over here.
Yeah, there's a stool here. There's a
Oh, okay.
stump here. So you put
I
him.
mean, it's not that secure because you can just slip out of it, but I'll just tie, yeah, I'll tie him to the stump. Like all around.
Okay, he looks
He's like
down.
sitting on his ass and tied up to a stump.
Tie him up a little bit. You don't get a strong sense that it's like particularly secure, but it's loud at the very least with the chains. It would definitely alert you guys. And where would you guys like to position yourselves?
I'll sit by over here.
You're sitting by the fire.
Yeah. Sit close to the two of them.
And how about Zathir?
I'm gonna surround on the opposite side. If the kid is sleeping there, I kind of want to keep an eye on him too.
Okay, so you're just sticking around on this stool here.
Yeah, kicking back.
Okay, cool. So you guys are kicking back, chatting a little bit, keeping low voices so as not to wake everybody else in their tents. Do you guys discuss anything in particular while you wait for the time to pass?
Yeah, I want to ask the guy, what's his name?
Uthak?
Uthak. I want to ask him, how is, what is it about Bluebeard and his crew that you stick around for?
Bluebeard is one of the mightiest pirates in the sea. He might be violent beyond all necessary means, but he knows how to treat his crew members.
He looks over at Kai, and you can see there's like a look of disdain in his eyes.
He would never abandon anyone in his crew. Gave me permission to start a ship of my own. A captain's blessing is what allows a ship to persevere in the pirate world.
Do you know what's happening recently with the pirates? I mean, I've heard these are just rumors, but stories of monsters and otherworldly things.
An rising almost.
I don't know about any of that. All I know is the pirates have been more active than ever before. This sea is ripe for plunder. Many ships have been organized, soon under a single banner. The Black Armada.
Yes, that name does keep coming up.
Jarl Bluebeard has already taken up his own post. Under a man I have not met, but whom I revere greatly.
Who is this man?
Some say he's only a legend. A man who fell to the sea, and when he emerged, he was different. Changed beyond all mortal reckoning. Changed such that he became one with the sea itself. Tentrix, the Sea King.
And he's been around only recently, right? Along with all these pirates?
What I've heard, he's been around forever. Only now he has risen to take his place and bring this Black Armada crashing upon the lands of men upon the Sword Coast. And soon after, everywhere else in this god-forsaken world.
Sounds like you want to burn it all down.
Well, it seems like he has a kraken in mind to do it.
Zathir, make an insight check.
Sure.
You get a sense about something that you said struck him, but you're not sure in what way it struck him or what effect it's really having. But he kind of
Yeah, I'm
just sort of sits there and stares into the fire.
follow up with the question. Do you know, Uthak, do you know anything about the kraken and the terror that it's supposed to cause?
You should get some sleep, human. It's a long trip to Fiskerbach.
Oh, well, it's my shift, and there's plenty of time to talk, so please do.
I require a rest for my own. If you want my legs to carry me the rest of this journey, I shall need my sleep as well.
So no escaping tonight, huh?
Not tonight, human. Not tonight.
Our friend Uthak here seems like somebody who bides his time. I think for tonight we just rest.
So that's the end of the first shift. Zathir, you head off to sleep. This means Sif, you have the whole shift, the whole following shift to yourself. It is uneventful. Uthak is sound asleep, snoring somewhat loudly. Sitting in his chair, just sort of like hunched over. It looks pretty uncomfortable, but he's not saying anything.
That's
about
fine.
it. Eventually, your shift comes to an end, which means that you are good to go to sleep, and thus starts Kai and Chimera's shift. So,
I'll go tap the both of them to wake them up and head into sleep myself.
all right, so you head over to your hammock to sleep, and Kai and Chimera, you both are woken up by Sif to take your first shift number 3. What do you do? Where do you position yourselves on the map?
I'm gonna sit on this log over here, close enough that can take a quick action, but far enough away that I'm not just like in arm's reach.
Mm-hmm. Bianca, are you awake?
RPing too well.
Wow, just-
I'm sorry. I'm so exhausted from today.
It's all
The
good.
music.
We could always
What's
say
going on?
you're doing such a good job role playing. You just woke up from sleeping to
Yeah.
to take your watch for the next 4 hours in the wee
Okay.
hours of the night.
Awesome.
Kai is here sitting across from Uthak, who's sleeping on his stump. She's just staring into the fire, keeping an eye out. What does Chimera do?
So Uthak fell asleep and Burn is asleep.
Yeah.
I'd probably go and like just look up at the stars and stargaze.
Sure. Do you get some distance away from the camp so you can see without the ambient light obscuring your vision?
Sure, but only a little bit, not too far.
Sure. Why don't you place yourself somewhere that you think is reasonable?
Probably like right over here.
So you're staring off into the stars, and it's impossible stars on this cold island, dead of winter. The dry weather makes a cloudless sky with no moon outside to illuminate the forest. You see an ocean of stars and planets in the distance. You see the arms of the galaxy beyond, and it fills you with a feeling of perhaps smallness, perhaps connectivity. But suddenly, your reverie is broken by the sound of a breaking branch in the distance.
Could I do a perception test to see if I see anything?
You can go for it. With your elven dark vision, you see some rustling in the trees just a few feet in front of you. And that's when you see the glint of what looks like metal, a knocked arrow pointed at you. And then you see the light reflecting off of the eyes of several small humanoid creatures in the distance. You have but a moment to react before they fire upon you. And that is where we're going to end our session.
Whoa.
Nice.
Time to fight. Fight at night.
Very cool.
Oh,
Night
boy.
fight.
Okay. So, got a lot done this session. First day of the travel from outside of Gunderland. Reminder, next week, there is no session. I think there's no session for the next 2 weeks. Is that correct?
Is that right? I thought it was just 1 week.
Is it just
Not for me.
because Matt? Oh, that's right. Matt, you're gone the week after.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, so I think everybody else can make it. Really quickly, are people available on either the 29th or the 30th?
Should be, yep.
I should be, yeah.
The 29th, I should be.
Okay, so let's aim for the 29th. Let me put that in the calendar now. 29th. And I'll put it in chat, actually, so everybody can see it. Next game. 29th. Oops. Okay, cool. So yeah, that's the end of the session. No level ups this session, no experience to divvy out because we're doing milestone. So yeah. Does anybody have any questions about what's going on? Are they not clear about certain things?
Who's attacking us?
You don't know.
Damn it. Hoping to sneak that one by.
Is the pirate a good guy?
You have no clue.
Will he be our very best friends if we let him go?
He's kind of a dick.
Yeah, now, because he's chained up, but he could be a really great guy once you let him go.
Yeah.
I do like how he's like Kai, and Kai's like, fuck that guy. Like immediately, he's like, nope, nope.
Okay, so let's end it there. We'll let Bianca get some sleep. Thank you all for joining tonight. I will see you all next, or 2 Wednesdays from now, the 29th. I hope you all have a
Everybody
good
have
Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Have a great Thanksgiving,
Yeah.
everybody.
Have a good Thanksgiving,
I'm
everyone.
sure we'll be in
Happy
touch.
Thanksgiving.
We'll be posting, chatting, whatever. And don't forget, a lot of you have been messaging me about like stuff that you want your character to do, sort of on the side,
There he goes
sneaky.
again. All the sneaky stuff.
I'm sure you've been hearing me typing up a storm. I've been typing to people all night. So if
I
you
bet everybody's like sending
What?
messages to nobody, and he's like just wants us to. He's
if you
prompting us.
and if you think you're the only one, you are incorrect.
Oh no.
I told him, I was like, I hear that clickety clackety, and it's not to me, so I know he's talking to somebody else.
Secrets.
Was I talking to Nina or wasn't I talking to Nina? Who knows?
No,
Ooh.
not I.
Something's going on.
No one is to
There's
be
a scheming.
trusted.
There's a plotting and a scheming.
Spicy.
And also for these little camps, like I was inspired by Baldur's Gate because in Baldur's Gate everyone has their own unique
Yeah.
tent. If there are things that you think your tent would have, message me. And I have this neat app that allows me to make these cool battle maps. I made this one. So
So
if
cool.
you think like I think it would be cool if my tent had like a skull on it. I don't know, whatever.
Am I just
Then-
sleeping in a tree?
So
yeah,
actually,
like, you got a stump.
there is a hammock
We need
there.
it.
It's that these trees from this angle are hiding it, so I might just modify it so that the trees are like moved over.
I could kind of see it. The net over here.
Yeah, there's
right?
like a netting. In fact, actually, let me post these. Hold on, I took. Where is it?
We need a seek hub
Documents.
meandering around.
Yeah,
That's
it plays
true.
fetch.
Let me. I'll make a little
Yeah, that'd be
token for
cool.
that. Where are they? Dungeon Alchemist screenshots. Here we go.
You can really, well, yeah,
Here, I'll
we can't
post
really
these
read
in.
it.
See, in the WhatsApp, I'm posting the images of all the individual campsites. So we got like Kai's has all these like stacked pillows. There's like a little genie bottle. There's Sif's hammock, very simple, very outdoorsy. Oh, and by the way, while you're sleeping, I'll remind everyone next week as well. But when you're asleep, you can't wear your armor. So none of you who are sleeping have armor on. You don't get the benefit of sleeping if you have armor on. Or weapons, obviously. You can't have a sword equipped if you're asleep. You can have it within range, but Chimera's tent, Zathir's little dark black tent, the white tent of Domo. But if you have any ideas for what you think it would look like, anything to help your verisimilitude, let me know, because I'm gonna make these probably like templates that I just plop onto different environments, so it saves me time. And then we'll have different fun forest camps or different campsites for different environments. Like you're in the mountains now, mountain camp. You're in the
Yeah, that'd be
dungeon,
cool.
dungeon camp, stuff like that.
Fun.
That's pretty sweet, yeah.
Yeah, very cool.
Just a neat nerdy thing that I've been occupying myself with while Nina works 18 hours a day. All right,
All right.
that's pretty much it. I'll let you guys go. Enjoy the rest of your night. Happy Thanksgiving, and I'll see you all on the 29th.
Cool.
All right, guys. Take care. Have a good night.
Later,
Bye,
people.
everybody.
Thanks, John.
Bye.